Hi guys, it's Monday, it's March 16th, 2020, and I wasn't going to do a video today because as you can clearly hear in my voice, I still do not feel good. It's getting worse. So, with that being said, I wasn't going to do a video, but I had something happen to me today that is absolutely appalling. So, let me jump into the information that I wanted to give to you. Let you know what's going on with the information so that we kind of have a clear understanding, and then I'll let you know what happened and why I feel everything that's currently going on in this entire situation is doing absolutely nothing for people in rural, tiny communities with small hospitals, with staff that doesn't know what's going on. So before I get into that, let's just go over this real quick and then we'll have our little discussion about it. So I'll see you on the flip side. All right. So let's pull up this first one. So the common flu, the flu that people see every year, right? So we've got a fever or feeling feverish. We have a cough. We have a sore throat. Runny or stuffy nose. Runny or stuffy. Muscle or body aches. Headaches, fatigue, and then this is more commonly seen in children when you have the flu, unless it's a really severe case. So let's hop back here. What happens to your body when you have a fever? Well, when you have a fever, your body tends to hurt, correct? Because your immune system has been attacked by a foreign body. So it's sending out cells, specifically cells created by your body to combat a foreign invader. That's how illnesses work. That's how antibodies work. That's how memory cells work so that you don't get as sick from the same thing, at a later date. All of these things are in your body for a reason. So when you get attacked by a foreign invader, such as the flu virus, you get a fever intentionally so that your body can activate those cells, and then you start feeling like crap. Your body hurts. You're tired. Even if you have the common cold, those are symptoms that people report with it. You hurt and you're tired. Those are normal responses by your body because your immune system is in hyper overdrive, attacking the foreign invader to get rid of it. Common sense, correct? I'm not a medical professional, but that's how it works. I take anatomy and physiology classes. I learn about the immune system because I'm going to be treating animals, and it's exactly the same for them as it is for humans. Diseases may be different, and animals have less parts, but it's the same system, the way that the immune system works to fight off an invader. So let's keep that in our minds. So let's take a look at the Karachi symptoms for a second. This is right from the World Health Organization. So this isn't information that I'm just pulling off of Wikipedia. This is what the experts are saying. Runny nose. Okay, well, could that be also a stuffy nose? Does it absolutely have to be runny? And how runny does it have to be? A sore throat, a cough, a fever. And look at this. The difficulty breathing, as I'm having issues breathing over here because I've started having that issue today. Oh, if my computer would work, it's being a little slow today. Severe cases. What are we hearing all over mainstream media? Everybody that has a fever and difficulty breathing. Well, according to the actual World Health Organization, the difficulty breathing is severe cases. So if you have a mild form of this virus, you could only have a fever and a cough. You could have a sore throat. You could have a runny nose and a fever. Or you could have them all. The problem that we're facing, not only in this country, but worldwide currently, is exactly what I said at the beginning. These little tiny communities with these little tiny hospitals that have very small staffs don't have the availability to test for this. This testing has just started coming out. These cases that we're hearing about these people being tested and they're positive, and these are, in a lot of cases, at larger hospitals or larger cities, not in these little tiny rural communities where I work. And even if the tests are available, this came on so quickly, the medical staff is not properly trained in it because it's a brand new virus to know the difference between a flu, a cold, and the crutchy. They're just not. And there's no way to be able to, until you start actually seeing the cases, to determine the difference. So I call my doctor today because I have had a fever for 3 days. Normally, my temperature runs very low. I'm one of those people where my temperature is right around 96.8. Sometimes it gets up to like 97.2. Like, it's very low. So when I spike a fever of 99.8, that's a problem. That's a fever for me. A normal person at a 98.6 temperature, no big deal. Me, that's a big deal. So I call my doctor because on top of it, I have the congestion in my nose. I'm sure you can hear it. I have congestion in my chest that started today. I'm super tired. I'm super achy. I started with headaches. I started with just all of these plethora of things. So I call my doctor today and I tell them my symptoms. They tell me they're going to call me back. Then it's been 3 hours and I didn't get a call. So I'm like, do I need to quarantine myself? Do I need to self-quarantine my entire family? Like, you need to let me know what's going on because I don't want to spread this in case I have it. So, like, call me back. Like, you're a little tiny doctor's office that maybe sees 30 patients a day. I understand that there's mass chaos going on and you're probably a little overloaded currently, but like it takes 10 seconds to call somebody back, especially when you're dealing with this kind of a situation, at least for mind purposes, to ease people's minds. Like, just frustrating. So anyway, I call them 3 hours later and I'm like, okay, I already called, can you guys give me an update? Did you talk to my doctor? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to stay in my house? Do you want me to keep my children in my house? What do you want me to do? So then she transferred me to a totally different nurse that I didn't speak to the first time. So here I am on the floor because I can't stand up for extended periods of time without being like, I'm super tired, I have to sit down, but I still have a house to take care of, so I'm doing what I have to do. Talking to this nurse, explaining to her, it started 3 days ago. No, I haven't been in contact with anybody that I know of, but do we know? No. Haven't been out of the country. She's like, no, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about out of the state or the county. And I'm like, no, haven't been out of the county, haven't been out of the state. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, well, it started with a sore throat and my lymph nodes got super swollen. Well, swollen lymph nodes means there's something there and your body's getting ready to attack it. Usually your first defense mechanism is your lymph nodes to send out your army to do its job. Okay. What else is going on? I said, well, after that, my fever spiked. So I have the sore throat, then I got a spiked fever. Fever's still here 3 days later. Still holding steady, about the same that it's been holding, right up near 100 degrees. What else is going on? Do you have a cough? Yes, I have a cough. Could it be due to my vaping? Maybe. Could it be due to this? Possibly. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. That's why I'm calling you. Do you have issues breathing? I said, well, starting today, I started feeling, congestion in my nose and like congestion in my chest. And, I'm starting to get to that point where I'm like, have to take a deep breath and try to be able to breathe. And she's like, so, yeah, it doesn't really sound like anything major. It actually sounds like the flu. And I'm like, the flu? And she's like, yeah, you're not really having difficult breathing, so I don't think it's this virus. And I'm like, what are the symptoms? And she's like, oh, fever and a cough and difficulty breathing. I'm like, there are other symptoms for it. And she's like, yeah, you have those, but I don't think that's what it is. And I'm like, Okay, but you don't know. And she's like, yeah, we're not testing for that here yet. So what you can do is come in and we'll give you a flu test. And it's probably going to come back negative. But, we'll just test anyway. And then we'll send you on your way because the medicine's not going to do anything. And I'm like, so you want me to come into a hospital where there are elderly individuals. And of course, tomorrow when I go for my appointment, I'm going to wear a mask because I'm a decent individual and I don't want to get anybody sick, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me so I can not only protect the rest of the community, but myself and my family. And you want me to come out into the hospital and you want me to sit there for a test and be in contact with like 5 different people between the nurse and the doctor and the check-in lady and the people in the waiting room and all of these things. And you're gonna, what? Tell me that my flu test is negative. You can't test me for this virus and send me along my way. This is how this is spreading, guys. This is firsthand information of how this is spreading. And I don't care about all of you people out there who are thinking that this is BS and this isn't even a thing. Listen, I don't feel good. People in my family don't feel good. Something's up. I've had the flu numerous times, and this is nothing like the flu I've ever had before. With the flu, it's always been a fever and I feel lousy, and that's it. That's it. I have a fever and I feel lousy. This is every day there's something else, and it's just adding and adding, getting worse and worse and worse progressively. So I'm trying to avoid my contact with the outside world. I stopped going outside of my house. I'm going to self-quarantine myself, and I don't care who tells me I have to do what. Other than I want to go to the doctor and be like, you need to test me. Something needs to go on for this. They don't have the availability to test me for this. They're going to test me tomorrow for the flu. Is it going to come back negative? I don't know. She's telling me it's probably going to come back negative. This is the point I'm making. These little teeny tiny communities all throughout the country aren't properly trained. They have no idea what's going on, what exactly to look for. And they're testing for the flu because the tests aren't available to do the tests that need to be done. So these people are thinking that they have the flu because they go to the doctor, and maybe the test does come back as the flu. I don't know. Is it a thing where the test has been coming back as a flu, but it ends up being this virus? I don't know. They're testing and they're going, okay, go home, get your rest, whatever, you'll be fine. And then people are going out and doing their normal day-to-day things, and they're infecting all these other people because in reality, they don't have the flu. They have this other virus. So that's where I'm at right now with it. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I really don't feel good, but this is important information so that you can understand the scope of it from my perspective, being somebody that's going through this situation that I'm sure thousands of Americans are going through right now, where their doctor's office is telling them they can't do the testing for it because the tests aren't available. They're going to be tested with the flu and sent along their merry little way. And in the meantime, they're still continuing to spread the virus throughout the population. So that's just my opinion on it. As always, you guys can always have your own opinion on everything. I just thought I would share the information with you. I gotta go. I really can't breathe all of this talking. Awful. So I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the rest of your Monday. Bye, guys.